Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are starting our month of Halloween movies, and our first stop is a Disney Channel original movie as we take a look at Halloweentown. And stay tuned for our bonus story as we take a look at the Disney Mickey Mouse short, Lonesome Ghosts. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Halloweentown. This movie premiered on October 17th, 1998. It was directed by Dwayne Dunham. The screenplay was by Paul Beenabaum. The production companies was Singer White Entertainment, and it was distributed by the Disney Channel, and it had a budget of $17 million. In terms of the backstory, Steve White and his wife, Sherry Singer, collaborated on TV movies for both NBC and the Disney Channel. One night, one of their daughters would ask them where creatures from Halloween would go when it's not Halloween. This was the inspiration behind what was known as Halloweentown, and it was pitched to NBC in 1994, who agreed to commission a script. The initial script from Paul Benham was geared to more of an adult audience, and NBC would pass on the project. However, in the department of No Idea Is Ever Dead, White and Singer would form White Singer Entertainment, and they would pitch Halloweentown to the Disney Channel. They initially passed, however, they were changed their minds after another Disney Channel original movie, Under Wraps, was well received. The film would be redeveloped towards family-friendly audiences, and it would be shot in St. Helens, Oregon, and Sacramento, Oregon, from May to June of 1998, being completed in just 24 days. The film has remained popular over the years, even to the point where D23 would celebrate the 25th anniversary of the film at St. Helens, Oregon with a special fan screening. So in terms of the cast, we have Kimberly J. Brown, who plays Maureen Piper, Debbie Reynolds, who plays Splendora Agatha Cromwell, Judith Haug, who plays Gwendolyn Piper, Joey Zimmerlin, who plays Dylan Piper, Philip Van Dyke, who plays Luke, and Kenneth Choi, who plays the hip sales creature. In terms of the plot, on Halloween, when Maureen is arguing with her mother, Gwen, grandmother Aggie comes to visit. Aggie wants to start Maureen's witch training before her 13th birthday, or Maureen will lose her powers forever. But there is another reason for Aggie's visit. Something dark and evil is growing in Halloweentown. So in terms of recommending this movie, I think this movie is a perfect movie that is geared towards preteen to that kid audiences. It's very cartoony, very silly, very over the top. A lot of the characters are stereotypical, kind of like Halloween creatures. Like you have the skeleton with the comedy, you have a lot of witches and a lot of goblins and stuff like that. So it's kind of that family-friendly Halloween movie. It's not something that I overly enjoyed. It's cute, but it is very silly. The ending is very predictable. Could kind of see it a mile away. But overall, it's one of those family-friendly movies that if I was a bit younger, obviously I'm not the audience geared towards it. I think I would enjoy it more, but for me it was just a little bit too silly for my taste. But again, I'm not a preteen, so I definitely recommend this movie for those families with those preteen children. So yeah. So as we move on to our bonus story, we're going to take a look at Lonesome Ghosts. This movie, funny enough, was released on December 24th of 1937. It was directed by Burt Gillett, and the story was by Dick Friel. The production companies was Walt Disney Productions, and it was distributed by RKO Radio Pictures. In terms of the plot of the short, on a dark and stormy night, 4 bored ghosts decide to have some fun by calling the Ajax Ghost Exterminators. Shriek with laughter as ghost hunters Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are scared silly by the hilarious haunts and taunts of these spirited pranksters. So this is one of those classic animated shorts that actually have lived the test of time. So in terms of the legacy, an edited version of the cartoon was released as a cartridge for the Fisher-Price movie viewer. And actually, a lot of people say that this was the inspiration for Ghostbusters. I think that's taking it a little bit step too far. However, the cartoon was used for a Disney TV music video for the Ghostbusters theme song. In terms of the characters living on, the Lonesome Ghosts appear as helpers in Kingdom Hearts 2, starring Mickey and Minnie, as well as the cartoon was used in several Disney video games, including Disney Magical Mirror, Mickey Mania, The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse, and Epic Mickey. The Ghosts as well would continue on making cameos in TV series such as Bonkers, House of Mouse, The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, and Sing Me a Story with Belle. As well as in the theme parks, a hidden Easter egg in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Disneyland, there is an ad for the Ajax Ghost Exterminators in the queue for the ride. So I think this is one of those classic shorts that never gets old. I think it's still funny to this day. And I like these cartoons where you have Mickey, Goofy, and Donald all teaming up. And then the cartoon is broken into segments, so each of them get their own kind of like 2 to 3 minutes of storyline. So I thought this was really cool. I thought the ghosts were great characters, and again, they live on, as we've seen throughout the Disney history. So definitely, if you haven't seen this one in a while, check it out, because it is worth kind of exploring. It's very funny. So, yeah. So thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would love for anyone to please leave a comment on what they think of Halloweentown, as well as your favorite memory of Lonesome Ghosts. So as we look forward to our next episode, we're going to continue with Halloween, but we're going to be taking a look at Jennifer's Body, starring Megan Fox. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.